Hello, my name is Ron Spigelman, and my project is titled The Social Roles of a Conductor Building Vision with a Social Skills Toolkit and a Leadership Blueprint. The format of this project is a specialized curriculum designed for graduate level conducting students. It is intended to bridge the significant gap between technical musical mastery and the social realities of the professional podium. To understand the why behind this project, I want to take you back to 2004. I had just moved to Springfield, Missouri to assume the role of music director. On my very first day in the office, expecting to discuss repertoire, guest artists, and programming, I was met with a reality I hadn't studied for. A beloved double bassist, a 30-year veteran of the orchestra, had passed away. I had only met him once. The family requested that I, as the new music director, speak at the funeral. My executive director looked at me and said, "You are our leader now." In that moment, a grieving family and an entire orchestra looked to me not just as a musician, but as a sage. I realized then that while I had earned my position musically, I was fundamentally unprepared for the full responsibilities of leadership. My training had provided a baton technique, but it had not provided a social skills toolkit. This project is my commitment to closing that pedagogical gap so that emerging conductors don't have to wait years through trial and error to be able to acquire the leadership resonance their organizations and communities need from day one. Traditional music education often produces maestros who are technically excellent and musically profound, but socially isolated. The rationale for this project is grounded in the fact that while technical excellence is the specialization of our trade, it is resonant leadership, the social competency of interpersonal attunement, that determines long-term professional success. My intended audience is the next generation of graduate conducting students who must navigate a 21st century arts landscape that demands collaboration over autocracy. By treating leadership as a people business, this curriculum provides the social armor and professional resilience required to lead modern, inclusive, and non-siloed organizations. The conceptual framework for this project is intentionally interdisciplinary, drawing on three primary scholarly pillars to create a social skills toolkit, a visionary narrative, and a leadership blueprint. First, I will utilize Erik Erikson's psychosocial stages, specifically the 7th and 8th stages of generativity and integrity, to help students build a visionary narrative. I will use a backward design approach, asking them to imagine the legacy at stage 8 to inform their identity at stage 6, the stage that many students will be in when they take this course. This then takes them beyond their immediate ambitions and builds their visionary muscle to discover their purpose. Second, I will apply Urie Bronfenbrenner's social ecological model. This allows students to map their leadership blueprint across concentric circles, from their immediate interactions with musicians and management in the microsystem, through the audience and donors in the mesosystem, all the way to the cultural influences of the macrosystem. Thirdly, I integrate emotional intelligence, self-determination theory, and leader-member exchange. These frameworks move the conductor away from transactional management and a top-down approach toward adaptive leadership to include servant, distributive, temporal, visionary, and ultimately transformational leadership, focusing on how to inspire intrinsic motivation in musicians and management by treating them as partners in a shared artistic pursuit. The lessons embedded in this project contribute to a broader body of knowledge regarding high-performance team dynamics and organizational skills through the building of a social skills toolkit. The framework will be built with my own personal method to achieve master competence called the POPE method. It stands for preparedness, organization, professionalism, and efficiency. This will be the basis for a strategic map on which to place social competencies as they are gained, and like the other scaffolded exercises, could serve students in the future as a visual aid to remind them to continue to practice these competencies. Additionally, there will be a focus on dramaturgy and impression management. This offers insights into how leaders navigate front stage and backstage personas. These modules teach that leadership is not a fixed trait, but a socially constructed role that can be refined through intentional practice, much like learning a musical score and refining baton and rehearsal technique. In developing this prospectus, my most profound insight was the realization that musical excellence is actually the baseline. It's not the destination. From this experience, I yielded a deeper understanding that to be a conductor and a music director is to be a change agent. By intentionally training the visionary muscle alongside baton technique, we ensure the longevity and human vitality of the orchestra for future generations. To profoundly impact communities, conductors must intentionally match their musical mastery with social and leadership competencies. By achieving this leadership resonance through a collaboratively shared vision, they cultivate the true integrity required to ensure live orchestral music thrives well into the future. Consequently, it is imperative that graduate conducting curricula evolve to include these competencies as a strategic partnership alongside rigorous musical training, equipping the next generation of musical leaders to navigate the complexities of the modern cultural landscape with both artistic and organizational excellence. We won't only be creating better conductors, we'll be equipping these artists to play their critical societal role. We are ensuring that when they are told, "You are our leader now," they have the leadership foundations, the emotional intelligence, and the social skills toolkit to answer that call with integrity, vision, and resonance. Thank you. I, Ron Spigelman, am the author and designer of this presentation and prospectus. The slides were created with the assistance of Google Notebook LM.